Hi guys, it's Karina from Aerial Lace Design. So I am back with another video tutorial on my template 73, which is inspired by a succulent template. So she has been around for, I want to say, almost 2 years now, but she still does not have a video tutorial. She does have a saved highlight story when I first released her, where I shared with you guys what the template looks like and a couple of flowers that you could make using the template, because honestly you could mess around with the template, but I needed to make some succulents for something that I am working on, and this time around I wanted to do a different flower than the one I shared with you guys in those saved highlight stories on my Instagram. So I wanted to share with you guys how to make these. I'm gonna insert a picture right after this of the succulent that I had seen that I loved. You know, I'm huge into succulents. Moving to Texas, like, that's a thing here, succulents, and I am obsessed with them. They're just so beautiful. And I'm a fan of those succulents that kind of look like they're closed in and very tight together. I'm not too sure if you know what I mean, but again, I will show you guys the picture and a little bit of the flower or the succulent that inspired us. So I am using my template 73. It only requires 4 petals. Now I am using a couple of tools that helped me achieve this look with the crinkled kind of petals and the petals kind of more in. So I'm going to share with you guys the tools that I used. I will have everything linked. If you're watching it here on YouTube, I will have them linked under my description. If you're watching them on my Instagram TV, I am going to have it under my saved highlight stories. I do have an Amazon storefront, and I will go ahead and place the stuff that I used, the tools, so you can check out there on my Amazon highlight story. So it can take you straight to Amazon, because they were purchased from Amazon. And I've been using these tools a lot. I'm sure you've seen them. If you're a follower of mine, you've seen these tools that I'm about to show you. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started so you guys can see how to make this adorable succulent. And she is roughly around 3.5. So she is available in PDF, hard copy, and SVG. So these I did hand cut by myself. But the nice thing is I was on a time crunch, and she's converted to an SVG, so I did have my Cricut maker cut the petals out. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so first things first, you're going to need the template. So she does come, I believe, with 13 petals, so quite a bit of petals. And for this flower, we are going to need the first 4. So the first smallest. So of course, if you want to remake this flower into a larger version, then obviously use larger petals. So the first 4 petals, you are going to need a pair of scissors. So I'm using my Westcott Carbo Titanium, not Titanium. You guys know I love these. So I am going to be using a couple of fondant tools. So this set I purchased off Amazon. They're actually molding cups. I think it said like molding like the petals when you're working with fondant. So this is what I use to give the petals that cup shape. So again, I will have those linked for you guys. I won't be using all 3 of them. I will be using just these first 2. You are going to need the modeling fondant tools, which are these, which you can also find on Amazon. Don't mess my they have glue all over. So this was a 4-pack also that you can find on Amazon. So again, I will have that linked for you. So you are going to need some of these. You are going to need a glue gun. So I'm going to be using my Surebonder Mini Detailed. So this is the cordless one. I've been into the cordless one. It's been wonderful. And as for cardstock, I am using, also, you can get this on Amazon. You gotta love Amazon, guys, seriously, especially a mom of 4 here. I don't really venture out with all 4 kids. It's too much work. So it's nice to have Amazon, especially when you have Amazon Prime. The floral cardstock from Printworks. So I'm going to be using their purple color. So this is 65 pound weight. So it tells you right here. The purple one is 65 pound weight. So I'm going to be using this. Now, if you're wondering how many sheets did I use with the Cricut, I used two. So basically 1.5, because I only used half of the of the second sheet. And what else? I think that is it, guys, that you're going to need. Oh, I am going to be also using, let me show you, you've seen this before, for my last little cuties petals. Don't, it's all beat up, guys, but hey, it still works. My McGill foam pad. This helps with the petals too. If you're a follower, you've seen this as well in some of my tutorials. So I'm going to go ahead and be using that as well. So let's get started as to how many petals you need of each. All right, so this is what the template looks like. So for your largest petal, you are going to need 10. So that's going to serve for 2 layers. Your first layer is going to have 5. Your second layer will have 5. Your next petal, you are going to need 5. Then your second to smallest, you're going to need 7. And then your last little cutie is 5. So even though she is small, you're totally capable of cutting this by hand, guys. Again, when she was first released, she was never released in SVG, only hard copy and PDF. You guys know the story. I was so anti-SVG, guys. It's not that I was just anti, it was just that personally, I love hand cutting. I might be weird. So that's why I never found a need to convert them, but I understand that some of you prefer having your machine cut for you, and honestly, now that some of my templates have been converted to SVG, it's very nice to have them cut the smaller petals. I'm not gonna lie, so yeah. So she is available in SVG. So let me show you how we are going to prep all the petals, because you are going to be doing this to all your petals. So I'm gonna get my first modeling cup tool. So like the one that I purchased off Amazon comes with 3, guys, but I'm not using the large one. Typically I use this for larger petals, but I'm going to use a second largest. I am going to use this one, but I'm going to put that to the side. So I'm going to use this, my petal, and then my molding petal, I don't know what you call this, but I know it's for the fondant. So pretty much, guys, what you're going to do, I'm going to zoom in. Super easy. You're going to get your ball, insert your petal, and we're just going to wrinkle her. We are going to push those petals in with the ball. So what it's doing is forming this cup shape, as you can see, like a bowl shape. Do you see that? So this is what we are going to do with all of our petals. And then you're going to get your scissors, cut in the center just like that, get your glue gun, a little bit of glue, and then cross over. So this is what we want. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this with all my petals, so I will be right back when all my first large petals are done, and then we will start the first 2 layers. All right, you guys, so my petals are all prepped now. Just full warning, you are working with hot glue gun. If you can notice by my fingers, I have glue all over them just because, I mean, they're smaller petals. So, I mean, you are bound to get a little bit of hot glue. So, as you can see, I added a dot of glue. So, I am going to be placing the next petal right next to it. So, your goal here is to just go around in a circle until you have placed all 5 petals. And I'm only adding a very small dot of glue just in case I have to readjust another petal, because, well, it happens. It happens where I have to readjust sometimes, so that's why I add a small little dot of glue. Last one. Oh. All right, so this is what you want, so I'm happy with it. So now we are going to need, with any scraps that you have of the same color, we need to cut out a circle. So I have one right here. I'm gonna add glue, and I'm gonna cover this up. If you're wondering, the mat that's behind me, this is a silicone mat. So it's nice because even if there's a little bit of glue seeps through, it will not get stuck to this. You know, for many years, I've worked on my actual table, or I'll put like a piece of paper, but then of course it would rip. And then, I don't know, just recently, actually, months back, the brand Surebonder had sent me a small silicone mat for my glue gun, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is pretty amazing. So then I went on Amazon and I found a couple of them from different brands. So I will also have this linked, guys, if you're interested. So there is the first one, the first layer. So we are going to repeat. We are on with the same petal, but we are going to be placing her. So notice I'm only placing here to the left. Well, hold on. No, you're right. My right, a little bit of glue. Now you're going to go in between the petals. And the reason is for that because the last petal we are going to tuck her in. You know, I always do this, that I always pick dark shades. That I don't know if the camera like picks it up, but there you go. As you can see, I am going in between. So adding that glue. These will also come in handy once it starts closing in. It's kind of hard to get that finger in there. So if you have a wooden dowel, or even, like I said, these tools will work to help you press those petals down. Right, so I am on to the last one. All right, so I have her. Now, as you can see, the ones over here are a little bit open. Towards the end, once the flower is already assembled, then we will kind of open her up a little bit. For now, we're going to keep her like that. So we are on to the next petal size. And remember that we needed 5 of these as well. So she's going to be propped the same way. This time around, though, I'm going to be using the smaller cup. And then just the same thing, you're going to place the petal. Press her in there with the ball. Get that petal shape. So just like that. Get your scissors. A little bit of glue. And voila. So this is what we want to do to all our petals. So remember, there's 5 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest finished up, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I am back with the next petal. So I zoomed in here just so you can see, get a better view. So I am on with the next 5. So you're going to repeat by adding of dotted glue over here to the right hand side. And then you're just going to be gluing her in between. Oh, can you see that? Just like that. So this is pretty much it, guys. So you're going to glue these around. And like I said, going in between. Sorry if my hands are all up in your face. I just wanted you to get a closer look. All right, so I'm on to the last one. All right, so there are those 5. So now we are on to the next petal size. So remember that second to largest petal, or second smallest petal. We need 7 of these, but you're going to need 5 first, and we're going to be repeating the same steps where we are going to place her in between the petals. Now this is where, as you can see, she is starting to kind of close in, so it might be a little bit harder for you to stick those fingers. So these tools are nice to kind of help you press down the glue. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on these by gluing. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this part, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I am all done with those 5. So next we have 3 left from that same petal size. So with these, we're going to prep them the same way, but this time we're going to be doing a triangular kind of placement in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and prep these, and then I will be right back. All right, you guys, so those 3 petals are all prepped. So it might be a little hard to see, but like I said, we are going to try to place them in a triangular form. So I'm going to grab my first one, and to serve as a guide, I'm going to place her in between 2 of the petals. Okay, so as you can see, she's right there. I placed her in between. Grab the next one. Going to place her. And then the last one. So you kind of want to do, like I said, like a triangle placement. And if you're wondering what the heck is she talking about, do you see how we have 1, 2, 3? So imagine there's a triangle right there in the center. That is what we want. So we are done with that one. So now we are on to our last petals, which are our little cuties. Now I do 2 steps with these little cuties. So first step is I'm going to grab my ball, and I'm kind of going to press her down first just to give her a little bit of that cupped shape. But as you can see, it's not, because the petal is so small and this is kind of larger for her, I'm going to take an extra step. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and glue this just like that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my McGill foam pad. Okay, I'm going to flip her around now because I'm going to use a smaller one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press down on the petal. And I don't know if you were able to see that, but it kind of gave the petal more shape. Do you see that? It lifted her up. Just because this right here is spongy, so when you're putting pressure, it'll lift the petals up. So I am going to go ahead and do the rest, and I will be ready. All right, you guys, so the 5 are all prepped. So for the center, as you can see, she is somewhat closed in, kind of like a rosebud. So what we need to do is grab your first petal, add a small little dot of glue, just like that. Grab your next petal. Sorry, I have glue all over, guys. And then place the next petal just like that. We're going to repeat. Grab the next petal. Next one. So you can see we're going around in a circle. Next one, which should be your last one. Place her. So this is what we should have. Something like this. I'm going to wait a couple of seconds so it dries. Okay. So now you're going to grab the petals and you're going to kind of close them up. To your liking, whether if you want it wide or more closed in. This is all up to you as to how you want it. And then all you're going to do is grab your glue gun and then just add little dots of glue just to hold those petals in place. And that's it, super easy. Just again, you're working with hot glue, so you're bound to get those fingers a little burnt. Okay. Give the bottom a press down like that. Now, if you have, sometimes I use my, I don't know if it's called Zen Art, to kind of help me glue her down, which I think I'm gonna use her, because I tell you, it's kind of hard to stick those fingers in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some glue, not too much. I'll place her in the center. I'm gonna use my ball to kind of press. And if you're wondering, also from Amazon. I'm telling you, I'm an Amazon girl. So there you go. Now I like it more spread open. This is too closed in for me. So again, to your liking, whatever you want, then you can go and then just open up those petals oh so lightly, depending again how you want them. I just like them a little bit more open. Go ahead and grab these over here. Kind of just because I want to see these points. And there you go, guys. Super simple, or at least I think they're super simple, but they're super cute. Like I said, I have a little project I am working on, and I needed some cute little succulents, some little wrinkly succulents. Let's pretend these are succulents who have been overwatered, and you know how they get. So yeah, so I hope you found that helpful. Look, she actually kind of looks like a lettuce too, doesn't she? All right, I'm gonna stop. So if you're interested in any of my templates, please visit www.arielelisedesigns.com, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye.